Afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon.
How are you feeling today?
Rough.
Yes, right. Just to let you know that you'll be sleeping downstairs tonight. Because I'm not having you blowing your nose all night like you were last night.
Yeah, it's very
Man flu.
very
Man flu.
common, going a lot of it about in there, but there you go.
Yes,
yeah,
it is,
it's
yes.
not pleasant.
Well,
However,
it seems to be hitting men. Maybe it's just women hide it.
maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to the football side of things.
Yeah.
Thought we'd ask some questions today about scouting.
Okay, we've had a lot of questions
Yeah,
about that, haven't we?
we
Yeah,
have,
so
yes.
let's go through some of those.
So one of the questions was, what qualifications do scouts need?
Okay, you don't specifically need a qualification to be a scout in the sense that you can't do it without, like to be an agent now you have to be registered and pass an exam. But there are qualifications. The FA Talent ID level 1 is free and online, so that's a good place to start. And then on from there, level 2, 3 and 4. Other organisations like the PFSO, I think it is, they have a whole range of qualifications. So they are available and they're certainly worth doing, but they're not essential. You'll see adverts where clubs do require you to have at least done the FA level 1 because that's free and online. So why wouldn't you do that? But beyond that, it's often a mixture of experience in the game, knowing the game, keenness, and really wanting to do the job.
Thanks. How do you get started as a scout?
We did a video on this some time ago, I think. So there's more detail if people look back. If they go on the YouTube channel, the Scouting Game, you can see that on there. People get started in all sorts of ways. You might have been in the game as a player or as a coach. If it's grassroots scouting, you might be running teams locally or have a soccer school or have some sort of network already that a club finds attractive. More recently, of course, you're getting lots of young graduates coming out with sports science degrees, even football studies degrees, things like that. And they are keen to get into football, the football manager generation, comfortable with the data and all that sort of thing. So people come from all sorts of different backgrounds. There's not a set path at all. Depends what sort of scouting you want to get into as well. Grassroots, academy scouting, opposition scouting, first team. There can be different backgrounds that apply, but there's no set path.
Is it well paid?
No. Generally, no. You're not going to make your fortune being a scout. Lots of starter positions are volunteer roles. That gives you an idea. And then the part-time roles at academies might be a couple of £100 a month, and some mileage if you're lucky. And even the full-time roles are not well paid compared to other aspects of football. So it's not a well paid area of the game. I've said before, it's the last area of the game to be professionalised, I think, in many ways, and is improving and is getting there. And hopefully with that will come better recognition by the employers, by the clubs, of the vital role that scouts play. Every player starts off by being scouted by someone, pretty much. So they play a vital role. We play a vital role, which isn't recognised generally in terms of recompense, in salary.
Right. Do scouts get into games for free?
Yeah, generally, if you're going to do a job at a game and you're attached to a pro club, then they can arrange normally with the other pro club or non-league club to have a ticket booked by for you. So that will be a normal pattern. But I've paid to go into many games myself. I know some of the big clubs feel that non-league clubs, for example, need the money, so they'll encourage their scouts to actually pay at the gate and claim it back, that sort of thing. But yeah, generally, if you're there to do a job or work, there's a reciprocal sort of understanding between clubs that they'll make some tickets available for scouts.
Okay, last one.
Yep.
How can I get seen by a scout?
Oh, okay. So if you're a player or if you've got a child that's a player, how do you get seen by a scout? Well, the general rule, as ever, as I keep repeating, is to play as high as you can. Not only is that good for development, you'll be playing with better players, often, not always, but often with better coaching. Much of the games program is really important to develop you as a player. But you will have more chance of it getting watched by scouts. If the scouts have got 100 games to watch at a weekend in any area, they'll tend to pick those that are towards the, you know, the top of whatever pyramid there is locally, just because you see better players and better football as a broad sort of rule of thumb. So try and play high as you can for development purposes and scouting purposes. And then you can always contact the club, you know, the local club, right into the head of academy recruitment if you're that age, you know. So you can get scouted in that way by a local club, or you can get a professional scouting assessment from an organisation that will be on your doorstep very shortly.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
One thing I should say, we've had so many questions about scouting, which is great. And hopefully all the answers will be in my book, The Scouting Game, when it's out in a year's time. But meanwhile, there's a lot of people asking, would we do a webinar, you know, available, easily available online? And if you'd be interested in that, and for us to go through the whole range of things about scouting, about doing reports, about analysing play, about the different types of scouting there is. If you're really interested in that, let us know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
I think
you.
I might attend that because I'm nearly there now.
Yes, good idea.
I know. Thank you then.
Bye now.